Good morning, everyone. Sorry we're a little bit later than usual. It's been a very busy morning. And for those staff who haven't seen me yet, good morning, everybody. I am here. So welcome to our Monday morning assembly. Ms. Turner will be joining us shortly, so we're going to do things in a little bit of a different order. So Dr. Bahar, would you like to lead us in prayer?
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. So if we can begin with the Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين.
Amen. So another busy week at Zaytouna Primary School. We've welcomed back more children this morning. So hello everybody who's joined us today. We've got some more EYFS children and we've had to open a whole new bubble, haven't we, sir? So we've got our new bubble up on the corridor upstairs. So thank you very much. And good morning, everybody. So another week of excellent learning, another week of excellent home learning. And this week, the theme, ironically, Ustad Bahar, is transport. So, I didn't have a very good start to the day this morning, everyone. I got in my car, it was 6:30, Ustad Bahar, so I had plenty of time, and I needed to put some fuel in the car. Pressed the start button, started, brilliant. Went to drive off, brilliant. Got a mile down the road, judder, and the car stopped. I had to roll into the car park of an appliance centre and wait. Car wouldn't start, had every warning light flashing up. It said, traction control on, check your brake system failed, check your airbag. So I'm checking my airbag, I ended up beeping the horn. My transport this morning, everybody, failed me. That's called the RAC. So my car now is in the garage, waiting for somebody to fix it. How did I get here, you're asking? Aha. Has anybody seen Doctor Who? You know, when he teleports in his TARDIS, or she? I've managed to transport myself magically from Nottingham to Derby in less than an hour. Brilliant. And I still managed to do morning meeting from the car. That confused Miss Lamb this morning.
Very, very impressive.
So transport is brilliant, Mr. Bahar, when it works.
It looks like you discovered a new form of transport as well this morning.
I think I have.
Teleporting.
Teleporting. It's the way of the future. Tell us a little bit more about transport in Islam.
Yeah, transport is absolutely amazing. It's another really, really interesting. I mean, when you first think transport, you just think, well, it's not really an exciting topic. What could you learn about transport? But when you look into it, it really is an incredible topic, and there's so much to learn. There's so much technology, there's so much science, there's so much maths, there's so much language. Everything that's connected with transport connects with all of the things that you learn in school. And if you want a career in the future in transport, then definitely you should be working hard in all of your subjects, because you will need all of them to be able to contribute towards the transport industry. The UK is a big contributor. It's one of the world leaders, in fact, in transport. You know, where we are based, we're very close to some of the biggest worldwide global companies in transport. We have Rolls-Royce, we have Bombardier, we also have in Burleston, which isn't too far from us, we have Toyota, which is the largest car manufacturer in the world. So we have some amazing links there. And we were doing space, so there's a nice link between space and transport. You know, we're looking at SpaceX now and the new forms of transport. It's almost looking like we may be able to buy tickets on, I've forgotten what the websites are that you buy tickets on.
Ticketmaster?
No, not to, that's for trains, for flights.
Oh,
anyway, Expedia. So you should be able to buy tickets on Expedia or one of these flight websites to the moon soon. So that'll be very, very interesting. So when we look at transport historically, it has gone through great changes. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created animals for us to be able to use for transport. And there is a very close relationship, once again, with animals there. In certain countries, even till today, the best form of transport you can use are animals. And that goes without saying that we need to make sure that there's rest given to the animals, they're fed well, they're looked after, they're treated well, they're not overburdened. One of the most amazing stories that I read was of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu. And Sayyidina Umar was the second Khalif, the second leader of the Muslims after the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he was traveling from Medina to Palestine. So it's about a 3-month journey he was going on, a very lengthy journey that he was going on. And when he went, he had a companion that was with him, and they had a riding beast. I believe it was a horse that they went on. It could have been a donkey, one or the other. And they were traveling to Palestine, and they took it in turns. And they had 3 turns. So the companion asked him, he said, why do we need to split the journey up into 3? He said, because I will ride on the horse for one part of the journey, you can ride for one part of the journey, and then the horse, we will give it to rest for the third. So they took it in turns, and they factored in rest for the horse as well. So that is absolutely crucial. There's many stories in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ where he really emphasized about the good treatment of animals. Now we benefit from them, and we take benefit from them, but we also need to look after them as well. We don't overburden them, we don't harm them in any way whatsoever. And I don't know if you can remember, Mr. Jones, where did we see donkeys?
I was thinking exactly the same, Mr. Bahan. When we went to Morocco, the streets are so small in the old town of Fez that they can't get cars up them, they can't get trucks and lorries. So there were donkeys, and they were being used to carry building materials, cloths, leather from the tannery. But again, when we walked further down the road, we saw the resting as well. So yeah, interesting. My favourite animal is a donkey. I love donkeys. But you talk about space. One of the first animals to go into space was a dog. Like a space dog. I think it was the first animal before humans. Yeah, interesting. Like the space dog.
So now when we're looking at transport in this day and age, we don't use animals as much because we have been able to advance in technology and science and those kinds of things. So now we use cars, we use trucks for transportation of materials, we use trains, we use aeroplanes, we use helicopters. Now you're looking at some of the new advancements, things like drones now are being used, human drones where you can actually sit in a drone and you can move around. So the future does look like, some of these programs and films that you see where cars are hovering in midair and they're driving through the cities. You never know what that could bring. But if you just think about transport, just try and make a list at home of all of the means of transport that we use. We even have transport for transport. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as Mr. Jones said, the RAC man would have probably had to carry your car away.
He would have done.
Yeah, so it really is an amazing. And then finally, we have our legs as transport. We always have our legs. If you're a small baby, you've got all 4s, and they crawl along, and then they develop, and we develop so that we're able to stand up on our own 2 feet. And that is the optimal. If you can walk on your own 2 feet and you can get somewhere, that's what we should be using, because it doesn't harm the planet, it doesn't take up fuel or energy or any of those kinds of things. So we should try and get into the habit of walking to any place that is in close vicinity. And if we have to use transport, then we use transport. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting topic. I'm sure there'll be some wonderful learning, especially about traveling around the world. I've just seen some of the teachers putting up traveling, and that's one of the most amazing advancements in this day and age, is that journeys that used to take months and months, now people can do within hours. Yeah, it's really, really incredible. So I really can't wait for the travel restrictions to be lifted and to be able to travel again.
Definitely. Because that's interesting at the moment, isn't it, Ustad Bahan, that the travel industry has been really hard hit by the coronavirus, and there is a lot of jobs that are involved within the travel industry. So I'm pretty sure that those people will be looking forward to getting back to work safely. And the prospect of us being able to travel very soon is looking quite likely, so that's good. And in terms of cars, I know that Google have got a prototype of a driverless car.
Of course, yes.
So lots of lasers, lots of cameras, lots of IT and lots of coding involved in that. So who knows, by the time you pass your driving test, well, actually you might not need to pass your driving tests, boys and girls, because you might be able to just sit in a car, program where you want it to go, and it takes you.
Very, very interesting times.
I've brought a book with me today, Ustad Bahan, but this book doesn't talk about trains, doesn't talk about planes, it doesn't talk about cars. My book this week is called The Great Balloon Hullabaloo. And obviously, Back before there were cars, trains, planes, automobiles, other modes of transport were quite popular. And I found this picture book, and I really liked it because it's quite funny, so I'm going to read you some of it. The Great Balloon Hullabaloo. Simon the Squirrel was off to play ball, but there stood his mum with a list in the hall. Please pop to the shop, Simon dearest. Here's the money for loo roll, new pants for yourself, bread and honey. And one thing that's much more important than these, tonight we've got pizza, so don't forget cheese. So off trotted Simon with Rodney Raccoon. Suddenly Simon said, look, it's the moon. Everyone knows that it's made out of cheese. If we jump, we can take just as much as we please. They ran to the lake in a mad, gleeful dash, leapt from a tree trunk and landed, ker-splash. You pair of daft noodles, the moon's in the sky, laughed Bethany Bear, who stood watching nearby. No problem, said Simon. We'll fly to the moon in old Uncle Somerset's special balloon. You're all very welcome to go for a ride, said old Uncle Somerset. Clamber inside, grab a nice cushion, there's plenty to try. Then he untied the rope and they rose in the sky. There's the balloon going upwards. They shot into space with spectacular force until a great comet, whoosh, blew them off course. You've gone the wrong way, said a cow with a frown. She'd just jumped the moon and was on her way down. Oh well, Simon said, as they sped through the stars. It looks like we'll have to go shopping on Mars. They landed on Mars and bought honey and bread from the little green man with 3 eyes in each head. Bethany called to her friends, look at me. There's a wonderful view from this funny old tree. But why is it covered in hairy pink moss? Because I'm a monster. Boy, am I cross. They fled from the monster and headed for Saturn, where Simon tried pants with a star-spangled pattern. Look at that weirdo, the alien said. On Saturn, they all wear their pants on their head. There's the monster. And there's the aliens with pants on their head. At the stores on Uranus, all shrouded in mist, Simon said, toilet rolls next on Mum's list. Of course, grinned the thing with the tentacle face. For loo roll, this planet is just the right place. Right, declared Simon, before we go back, why don't we stop for a drink and a snack? They called in at Pluto for cosmic rock cakes, which they ate at the Milky Way parlour with shakes. On Neptune, they hoped to get space fish and fries. Instead, all they caught was a scary surprise. Time to head home, give it maximum power, said Simon. Then, yikes, it's a meteor shower. Down poured the meteors. When would they stop? Then, uh-oh, they all heard a sound. It was pop. Don't panic, said Rodney, it's under control. And he climbed up and plonked his rear end in the hole. How rude. So we've got Rodney the raccoon sitting in the hole to try and cover the tear. They drifted back down to earth with a bump that made Uncle Somerset wake with a jump. Oh, don't mind the puncture, he said. I can patch it. But you'd better run home to your mum or you'll catch it. Imagine the look of surprise on Mum's face when Simon declared, I've been shopping in space. You can tell us about it at dinner time, please, said his mum. I've made the pizzas. I just need the cheese. Simon searched in the bag for the things on Mum's list. Whoops, blushed the squirrel. There's one thing I missed. Cheese. I quite like that one, Ustad Bahan. because that story links with our learning from last week on space and the planets. I don't think somehow that we'd be able to get meteor rocks and shakes anywhere soon, but it's nice that they take a different means of transport into space, because normally we think of a rocket. So this week's learning, all based around transport. It will be absolutely fantastic to see what you can come up with. Let's see if we can make links with previous learning. For example, space buggies. That would be a good one. Year 5 studied those. The Mars rover, etc. That would be good. Any trains that we can make? Any toy cars? Any paper aeroplanes? If you can have a paper aeroplane race and video that, that would be phenomenal. And any other means of transport that you can think of. So, we'll finish assembly there for today. It's been lovely to see everybody and to hear your comments in the chat. Thank you very much. To those of you who are in school, have a fantastic week. To those of you who are at home, expect some calls this week from teachers and teaching assistants. We're just going to give you a quick ring, see how you are, make sure everything's okay with your home learning. So make sure you're up and about, make sure you've got something to tell us, that would be lovely. And we will speak to you very shortly. And if we don't see you before, we'll see you on Friday for our Star of the Week assembly.
And just a final one from me, the Islamic Studies live lessons are starting today. So mums and dads, you will have received a link on Class Dojo. Please join us for some live lessons. Very short lessons, but they'll be very interesting, and really looking forward to seeing you all on those.
Mrs. K is very excited about those. It'll be a brilliant opportunity. Fantastic, everybody. Lovely to see you this lovely Monday morning. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you on Friday. Bye, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.